amazing. So I'm a bit obsessed with Trello boards at the moment. So
Okay.
so not everyone uses Trello, but it's quite straightforward.
Yeah, I
I'll
use
go
Trello.
I'll go through everything today. Obviously, I put some ideas in there. If there's other stuff that obviously needs to be replaced with it, we'll just replace it. And if we want to keep stuff, we can keep stuff. But really now, it's just getting our teeth stuck into it, getting it done, getting it created, really. Yeah. How are you anyway? You good?
Good, thank you. Yeah, really good. I know Carrie's been on another call, so she's probably just finishing up and then she'll be over.
Amazing.
Just let me email Emma as well.
Amazing. Cool.
Did you go? When did you go to that land?
Tomorrow. So
it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow till Saturday, and then I'm back in work on Sunday.
Okay.
So because I'm not working tomorrow, I'm just going to work Sunday. So Sunday, and then next week, really. If we can get something in, sort of like middle of next week, that'll be amazing. And then I can turn the content around for you by the end of the week.
Do you want to book that now?
Yeah, let's book it in now. So Monday, Tuesday's out. I've got an audiobook recording on Monday, Tuesday, but Wednesday onwards, I'm pretty free.
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I can do Wednesday or Thursday.
Ooh, that sounds good. Let's go for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you want to say 9:30 in the morning?
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Amazing. I will send you all the links to this now anyway.
Okay.
Now, just for clarity, are you more sort of wanting to do? Obviously, we'll go through all this today. That's the purpose of this call. But in terms of,
hi Emma.
Hi.
Hello, Emma.
Hi. I'm all right. I didn't realise. I was like, because it said FM, I was like, oh, is that linked to something else she hasn't told me about? I didn't realise it was
Emma, what? Just while I'm just booking in the content day for next week. What's your email address?
It's Emma Louise.
Yeah.
And the letter J.
Yeah.
At hotmail.com.
Amazing. I'm just so you like, so even if you don't end up coming next week, you'll be sort of like CC'd into it and everything.
Okay.
Cool. So that's all booked in for next week then, Suzanne.
Okay.
Amazing. So that's boxed off. Okay, so I was just saying to Suzanne, I'm a bit obsessed with Trello boards at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm delivering all the strategy and all the content strategy for our clients on Trello boards. Now, not everyone uses Trello boards, but they are quite straightforward. So I don't know if you've got experience in them, but they are good. What I'll do is I'll share my screen. I'll go through everything that me and Suzanne talked about last week. If you've got any input or questions as we go along, like this isn't me like telling you what to do or anything. It's more just like clarifying everything for next week, so we just get it created essentially. And then it's more just like explaining it while we're doing it really. So if I can just share my screen. So you've got access to the Trello board already. Great.
I don't know how you're on there, but she's on there, so it's fine. I think she must have access to all my books.
You just sent me a link to it.
You
went on the Trello board
for some reason.
Yeah. You sent me a link to it with this other link, so I clicked that link there first, thinking it. I didn't read it. I just clicked it, thinking it was a link to this, and then I joined the Trello board, and then it was the second link that was for this.
No, right.
I don't know.
So with the Trello board.
Sorry, Ellie's just ringing me.
Yeah, go on.
Where are you based, Stephen?
I'm in Bromley.
Bromba.
Yeah, where are you?
Is it Steve or Stephen or what?
Yeah, call me Steve. Call me Steve.
Steve. Was that to sound like your mum then?
Whereabouts in the world are you?
Just over there in Liverpool. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like your style. Over on the dark side.
Yeah, the best side.
Okay, so you can see the Trello board now. So what I've done is, as part of the strategy, I've done some strategy and positioning. I've done some social media content plan, the service delivery plan, and the weekly Q&A that we talked about, Suzanne, where we can get some content from as well. Each one of them has cards in them, which obviously as we go along we can add to or we can take stuff away from. Now this will be open to you guys. Hi Kelly, you okay?
Hello, sorry, I've only just come off another call.
All right, we haven't started.
Hi Kelly Williams.
Oh great, that looks good, doesn't it? Williams. Yeah.
So we haven't really started yet, but yeah, so the Trello board is what I sort of deliver the content strategy in. And as you can see on the screen, there's like different pillars that me and Suzanne have already talked about. And obviously all the content that we create over the course of the next sort of week or so will fit into these sort of cards anyway. Now, as we go along month to month, obviously these cards will change and be updated because obviously we will already have assets filmed. We'll be filming new assets and we'll be keeping all the content up to date. So this is for you guys to have input into, and it's also for me to have input into as well. So it's more just like a collaborative thing where we can just really clarify what's going to get made and what's not. And we can add stuff to this, we can take stuff away. So what I'll do is I'll go through what I've sort of got from what me and Suzanne have talked about already. But as we go through this call and as we go into the next week, feel free to add stuff to this, like and take stuff away if needed. Well, by the end of this call, what we're basically going to have is a plan for next week where we can like basically film that content.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll put stuff in like a sort of priority list of like importance. So in terms of like, let's say, for example, a welcome video when someone signs up, that might be higher importance than like doing like a random piece of social content. And then what we'll do is we'll prioritize all that. So when you come in next week, we've just got literally a hit list of things to tick off rather than just kind of wing it as you go along sort of thing. Okay, so looking at strategy and position, I've done target audience, value prop, and tone of voice. Now, with target audience, all you do is you just click in to the card, and I've just basically done a tick box of like who it's for. So that would give us an idea of like who you're targeting, and who the content's going to be centered around. Now, again, if there's stuff that you want to add to this, because this kind of the reason why the strategy and position is important, obviously, is because all the content we create is going to be centered around these people. Now, I've talked to Suzanne about this. Like, my mum is a carer for my nan, who's in a care home at the moment. So this content, my mum would be like the ideal client. So that's what I've kind of centered it, my thought process around. But at the same time, this could be anyone. This could be anyone who's got like people who they're going to start caring for, essentially. So adult support and aging parents, families dealing with early signs of decline, people confused about care options, families who want to plan before the crisis, overwhelmed caregivers, people navigating the NHS, care agencies, social care benefits, all that stuff, and then families struggling with guilt, conflict, or uncertainty around family members in elder age. Again, if there's anything you want to add to that, please do. All you do is click into the card, add it to it, and it'll give me a better idea of like the content we create. Any questions so far?
No.
Awesome.
Emma and Kelly both use Trello as well, so
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Trello is one of my favorites.
Well, do you know what? You might be able to. I might have to speak to you about automating some stuff for me because we're going to do some. Like we just opened the content room, so I'll speak to you about that afterwards and maybe do some work.
You might have to pay for automation. You might have to pay for Trello though. Just bit
All
of
right,
a-
fair enough. I don't. You know what? I don't mind paying you girls to help me sort it. To be fair, so like it's one of them where.
No, what I mean is you have to pay the Trello company to do the
Yeah,
automation.
it
to
might be
make
a
it
paid,
work.
a paid option on there.
A paid option, I think.
I find it fascinating that you can send your emails to the Trello board, and then
you can.
kind of,
Yeah.
I find it fascinating.
And it's a big, long, stupid email.
You can also, I used to have all my carers' birthdays on there, and then it would email me when it was their birthday.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so again, value proposition. Click into it. So when someone starts out in helping you care, they're maybe confused, they're overwhelmed, tensions in the family, not sure what to do, where to start, they're emotional, they've got some stress and strain and all that stuff. And then afterwards, or as part of the program, they have a clear plan, get practical next steps, more confidence, better well-being, calmer family conversations, and knowing that they're doing the right thing. Again, if that value proposition changes in the service, we can update that. But I think the main thing with the social content, especially, is making people clear on what it is you actually offer. And there's just an awareness piece around that, which we'll dive into shortly. But it's basically like it's the same with me in the content room now. I've just got to make people aware of what we actually do in the content room. So like using me as an example, I work in 3 phases. So we do content strategy, what we're doing now. We do all the filming and editing, and so we make the content, and we also manage social media. So that's what we do. That's essentially what we do in content. But I've got to make people clear that, because if you don't know, you don't know. And it's the same with what you offer. If people don't know there's an offer there that can help them, then
you've got to tell people. You've got to keep telling people.
You basically got to. It's like imagine having like a big foghorn and you're just shouting it from the rooftops as much as you possibly can. Because
but then you also have to tell them in different ways as well, because some people receive content and understand.
Thanks, Emma. Can you mute? Yeah.
So you're right. It's skinning the cat from every different angle, guys. It's skinning the cat from every angle. So with marketing, generally, you're talking about the same stuff, and you're completely right, Kelly. You're talking about the same stuff over and over and over again, but from a different angle. And you're right, people do absorb knowledge and content in different ways. So, one thing I'm fascinated with at the moment is audio. So we're doing audio books now, and people aren't necessarily watching video as such either. They're just listening to audio when they're walking the dog, for example. So people are consuming content in different ways. So we've got to obviously cater to that, which we're going to do.
And also people are receptive to certain things on certain days as well. So you might put out a week's worth of content, but then somebody might be following that. But then the following week, they might have had a really bad day with the loved one that they care for. And then suddenly they're listening to something and, it's all becoming clear that they actually do need the help, or they do need a carer to come in, or they need help to find out what their options are in terms of forms that they can fill out and what help they can get.
Completely. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I look at my family WhatsApp group, and we have like a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a rota as such, but it's like a schedule of, we go and visit the care home. And every week, like on some days, we're like, oh yeah, she's great today, and then other days she's terrible today, and you never really know. Yeah. So on that certain day, you might just have a bad day, or on another day, you might have a great day. And you can't really, I suppose, from a human level, you can't really predict that. But in terms of content landing, you're right. We can make sure that. Well, that kind of really ties into the tone of voice. So it's really, I've just put stuff in here. So you just want to be clear, supportive, practical, non-judgmental, hopeful, and my favorite one is no jargon. Like, people,
I'd say throw empathetic into there as well.
Let's do that. Well, if you want to add anything to that, let's do that. Empathetic.
I think when it comes to care and understanding what people go through as family members or as unpaid carers, I think the empathy side of things is so important, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Suzanne's listened to me for years now, haven't you, over stuff that I've gone through?
But that's it, you know, and it's a reassurance as well, isn't it, to people that actually you understand what I'm going through.
100%.
Yeah.
I found with my auntie and my mum, who are carers for my nan, I found that it's almost like and this may be tied into content that you can do. They're almost like a hard shell, and you don't want to be a kind of like seen as like they're a pillar of strength for everyone, and they're not like showing their sort of vulnerable side, and they're actually sad that they're losing the parents essentially.
Yeah. Well, that is what happens. I mean, that's what happened with you, isn't it, Kelly? Because you know, you be strong for your other parent or whatever, but actually, all you want to do is shut yourself in a room and scream into a pillow.
Yeah. Over the years, I have done that. I've been strong for my mum. I've taken care of her whilst things have been really bad with my dad. And then I do occasionally just go and shut myself in a room and have a cry about it, and then I become strong again.
I think well, one, Kelly, I'm sorry to hear that, but at the same time, fair play for being such a pillar of strength.
Yeah, you get on with it though, and I think because Suzanne knows I worked in care recruitment for quite a number of years as well. Yeah. You don't become hardened to it, but you do become used to dealing with certain situations. Yeah, sure. So you find a strength that you don't know you've got, really.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a tough one. So I'm kind of glad you said that, because I feel like we're kind of tying in our thought process together, really. So moving on to the social media content plan. Some people call these like content pillars. Now with content pillars, I like to think of them more as like formats. And what I mean by format, the content itself, you will kind of get just from like what you do. And we'll dive into it a little bit shortly. But with a format is something that you can just kind of like, before you even think about what content it actually is that you're making, it's more just like, what's a format that I can execute on every day, every week, every month. That's easy for me to just create and deliver. So there's no right or wrong answer to that either. So for us, we've got a podcast set up, so podcasts are easy for us to produce. And we can repeat that all the time. So podcasts are great for us. And we know that with podcasts, we can clip out shorter form content from them podcasts, which is really valuable. So that's a great one for us. But other people do stuff like radio shows. Some people do Q&As. Some people do live streams. Some people do interview style stuff. Some people do just talking head videos, like, just getting in front of the camera, just talking, which is great. So it's something that is just easy to deliver on all the time. Now, obviously, with the content and what we're going to do, it's going to be easy for you guys to deliver because you're going to be in the room. We're going to just create it all. But then there's other stuff that you might do outside of the room that might support that content with more like day-to-day stuff and contextual stuff on an ongoing basis, which obviously we'll go through as well. So what I've done is I've created, so with them formats, have a think about that. So in terms of formats, I've done sort of like, we talked about this in the Suzanne, like longer form YouTube videos, shorter form YouTube videos, podcasts, short form social media content, website content, almost like lead magnet style content where you create like a small asset, say like a 10-minute video around a certain topic. That's very practical, that you could just kind of give out to people as like a lead magnet and capture emails and stuff like that. But I think education piece around stuff is important because, again, using myself as an example, I'm 40 next year and my parents are getting slightly older, pushing 70, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at my nan now who's 90, and you're getting more aware that my parents could end up the same way potentially. So I need some education around this stuff, and that's content that would be useful to someone like me.
Yeah.
And potentially what Kelly went through or has been through in the last few years, that could have potentially helped her as well navigate certain situations better. Yeah. Emotional support. So like you say, going in a quiet room, screaming into a pillow, and you are that pillar of support for your family. when all this is going on, but you haven't got the support yourself, or you don't feel like you have, so you end up screaming into a pillow or fucking throwing something at a wall or something, and then you can create assets that support that and help people feel understood and recognised. And what I've done is I've put within them cards, there's, if you open them up, I'm going to put like obviously all the pieces of the formats in there, and we can just monitor that as we go along. Now, things that we can do as well, like behind the scenes stuff. Now, what I really like at the moment, and something I'm doing in my content, is storytelling and shared insights. So storytelling is stuff like saying, you know what, I had this really cool content strategy call with Kelly, Emma, and Suzanne today. We talked about how we're going to map out all the social content, all the membership content, and basically the roadmap from someone going from free content to a high-end paying client. And this is what we've done. That's an insight, but I can tell a story around that. And I'm loving that as like behind the scenes trust building content.
Yeah.
Because if someone knows you, Suzanne, who's a business owner, and they go, oh, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. I need some help with my social media. That might build a trust for them to reach out. Similar to what happened with you and Laura. You came in, seeing what we've done. Yeah. And you ended up becoming a client because I built up that support over time. Yeah. And then there's probably, have you heard of 7-11-4?
No.
So 7-11-4 was a study that Google done. So for someone to go from unaware of a service to a paying client, it's 7 hours of content, 11 touch points over 4 different platforms. Now, platforms could be online or offline. And once people hit them milestones, they tend to become a paying client or build enough trust, or at least make a decision whether to become a client or not. But we can rack up them hours quite easily through, if you do 7 hours of podcasting, for example, or you do a load of short form content or a load of YouTube videos that people watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously covering all them bases.
Yeah.
So storytelling's a great way of doing that, and people love stories. And people say, oh, we live in this age now where attention spans are shortening down. And maybe that is true. I would also counter that with people still watch 2-hour Netflix films and podcasts and stuff. So if the content is good enough, people will watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are the ideal client, they will tend to watch it as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it depends on the platform, doesn't it? Because if it's like somebody's scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, that is all short. But but then some of those people will listen to a podcast or an audio book and get totally engrossed by it.
100%. Yeah. It's really interesting that so when TikTok first came out a few years ago, when they brought up the For You page, basically what they said with the For You page was, we think that we can create a feed that you're more interested in than what you can create yourself. And what the For You page done was kind of devalued the follow button a bit. So the For You page was basically just things that they think that you're interested in, but not necessarily follow. And it worked. So Instagram changed its Reels feed to that style. YouTube Shorts came out, and it really worked. So when we go onto Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Short now, it is short form. Totally right what you say there. And it's basically what it thinks that you're interested in. So this idea of a follow button has become like, essentially, if I choose to follow you, Kelly, or you, Emma, I don't necessarily see more of your content, which is crazy, really. But YouTube is slightly different in a sense as well, in the sense that with the longer form stuff, with the podcast and longer form videos, you physically have to click the video to watch it. So if you go and watch Suzanne's podcast, for example, or my podcast, you physically have to click that video. So that's a decision that you make rather than just getting served it up. And with that, I think that view that you give me, or I give you in terms of that particular view of that piece of content, is more valuable than a view that you would get on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
because you've physically chosen to watch that video, not just been served it up. And then YouTube ties into website, YouTube can tie into course content, YouTube can tie into membership content. So there's loads of ways you can skin that cat as well. So, I mean, I suppose what I'm trying to get across to you guys is, with all this content, it just creates this like ecosystem of content that serves itself. And you're just constantly feeding that and feeding that and feeding that, where this content just overflows into more and more and more content. And then the last one on that is offer awareness, which we talked about a little bit. So just basically making people aware of your offer. Literally just, you know, my old business coach, Peter, used to tell me, you need to advertise until you're making £1 million as a minimum, because people just don't know you exist. And you need to make them know you exist. So if you want to add anything to that anyway, if you want to add any content pillars, or if you want to add any strategy or positioning topics or anything like that, please feel free to. If you want to take stuff away, same thing, feel free to take and add stuff. Are we on the right track? Those any questions so far? Awesome. Awesome. So in terms of the service delivery plan, obviously I've just wrote down what we talked about last week, Suzanne, and within there, there's everything that we've talked about in terms of like what the members get and what needs building else. Now, in terms of like, say, the £37 a month membership, the content that we create will literally just fit in to them things. So when it gets set up, so let's say, for example, someone signs up, they get a welcome email with a video on, and it's a welcome video of you, Suzanne, just going, welcome to the set, welcome to Helping You Care. So glad to have you on board. This is what you've got to do next. So we can just create that asset next week and just slot it in to that thing. It's quite simple, quite straightforward. And we just do that with every sort of touch point. All that makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you say you're using Go High Level?
Yeah.
Amazing. So Go High Level can do all that, can automate everything, set up the emails, you can set up the landing page, everything you need. I'm with my social media community, which I'll add you to actually. I'm in the middle of revamping it. I'm using an app called Go Collab. Now, it's not part of Go High Level, but it's cheaper than using the Lead Connector app. So I used to just use that here to connect them up. So when they sign up through Go High Level, they get access to the Go Collab app, and then all the assets just sit into that app basically. And I'm going to host my community in there, and I'm going to host the course content in there as well. It's just a nice, easy way of doing it. There are pros and cons to that, by the way. So, like, originally my community was in a WhatsApp group. Now, the feedback that I was getting was, it's easy to use the WhatsApp group because people are on WhatsApp all the time, but essentially they don't want more notifications,
right?
Which is a pain, because you know it's like when you get hundreds of WhatsApp messages every day, it's a fucking nightmare. But if you just had a separate app, people don't necessarily want a separate app, but it's a place where they can just go and get that specific content. And I think an app works quite nicely because everyone's got access to it then on the phone.
Okay.
But again, that's totally up to you guys, which way you want to go with that. And then obviously it's just the same thing for every party service. So the tiered up membership service, like, it's just, making a list of what assets need doing and going from there. In terms of weekly content topics, so pain points, knowledge gaps, frequently asked questions. So I spoke to Suzanne about this last week, but I'll go through it a little bit. Imagine like a Venn diagram where the circles are crossing over each other, and in the middle circle is great content. In one of the circles, you've got pain points. So, stresses, frustrations, emotional triggers, physical pain, emotional pain, things that are doing someone's head in, just like general things that are a pain in the arse. Those are pain points. Then you've got knowledge gaps, is like, what do I need to know that I don't know already? What just plain don't I know? So if my mom just gets diagnosed with some condition, what do I need to know? That's a knowledge gap. What don't I know that I need to know? And then frequently asked questions. These are those things that you would get asked all the time. Now, what I've done in these, I went on to Answer the Public. I don't know if you used Answer the Public before.
Yeah.
It's a great website. and I just took some ideas from there around the topic. So in the Trello board, if you click into it, it's like pain points, for example. I've just listed out like 10 or 12 pain points.
Okay.
And then same for knowledge gaps, and same for frequently asked questions.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I'm going to hedge a bet that, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to hedge a bet that there's probably hundreds of frequently asked questions that people would have. And there's probably hundreds of knowledge gaps, and there's probably hundreds of pain points. So that's just like scratching the surface, really.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we go on, you can just add an unlimited amount of content ideas. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I come up with these content ideas, generally more content ideas sprout from these ideas. So as an example, if I said to you guys, if you do 21 podcasts, you would be in the top 1% of podcasters in the world. That's a knowledge gap. You probably didn't know that. That's like an interesting fact about podcasting. Now, from that, I could make a piece of content, which is how to get into the top 1% of podcasters in the world. I could also make a piece of content is what you didn't know about being a podcaster.
Yeah.
And more content ideas kind of sprout from them other content ideas. So essentially you've got this like this spider's web of content ideas that constantly just grows and grows and grows. Now, the reason why I keep the content posts down to about 3 or 4 is because you could have so many that it just becomes overwhelming and there's just too many ideas and you just go, I don't even know what to create now. Whereas if you just have 3 or 4 content posts that all these ideas just slot into, it's quite easy to deliver on every week or every month or, you know, every day, whatever, however often you make content.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like the content itself. I think I've covered all bases there. Have I missed anything on there, Suzanne?
No, I don't think so. I'll go through and have a look.
Yeah, amazing. Do all that.
How that's
and then really, so the next steps really then are with the content that we're going to film next week on Wednesday. I need you to make a list of what's going to be in the actual resources in the membership.
Yeah.
Now, what I would encourage you to do is not make the videos too long. You want them to be like quite digestible. So anything from like sort of 4 to 10 minute long. You don't really want them like if people see like a list of 20 videos and they're all 30 hours, like it's like 30 hours worth of content. It's just too much for them to digest.
Yeah.
I would suggest keeping each video to around 3 to 8 minutes or 3 to 10 minutes. That way it's easily digestible. People just click into the video, watch it, off they go, do the thing.
Yeah.
Long form YouTube ideas, they would kind of sprout from the pain points, knowledge gaps, frequently asked questions. But from them YouTube videos, as we talked about, we can clip out shorter videos from them. So once we've got a few YouTube videos done, just to kick you off, we can obviously go into that. Now, these don't all have to be filmed on the same day. We can spread these out. And then obviously we'll go through some social media content as well, which is some shorter form stuff. And then, as you said, if you want to bring people in on the podcast and talk to them and get some, get some ideas out there, that way you can do that as well. Yeah. So have a little look through all them. Have a little play around with the ideas, add stuff to them, take stuff away. And then next week when we come in, we're just going to literally get you in the seat, set you up, make you look amazing, and we'll get all this content made and slotted in. Okay. Are you happy with all that?
Yeah.
I think like when I was writing all this out, I was like super excited to get stuck into it really, and obviously meet you girls as well. And I'm looking forward to working with you.
Specifically next week, then. What did you want? Did you want to actually film next week?
Yes, please. What I would say for next week is just have, like even if it's just like a Google Doc or just written down on a pen and pad, just make a list of like what them. I would probably say the main things you got to create so far is if someone was to sign up today.
Yeah.
What do you need for them?
Okay.
So like a welcome video.
In terms of the mini course, Suzanne, have you mapped out what the modules for that look like?
No, I need to work through that with you.
Okay. Do you want to have a call with me to do that?
Yeah.
Just on the mini course, Kelly, as well. I've put some ideas in there. But again, like I just went off onto the public. I've gone through them all.
Yeah, I do. I've got an idea in my head what I do want to make them about.
What I would like, again, do you mind if I offer some input into that? Like, I'm not gonna I don't know the ins and outs of the service, and I don't know the ins and outs of the actual content itself that you're going to be doing. What I would say is try and make it as step-by-step practical as possible. Yeah. Because people want an outcome from every video. So
now you've done this. Now you need to do that.
Exactly.
You've done that. You need to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just becomes
absolutely. That's exactly how I help all my clients map out the strategy for their courses.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got the elite team with you today.
I love it.
We know what we're doing, Steve.
Kelly, I might have to bring you into my business as well, to be fair.
That's fine. I'm sure we can collab somehow.
I'm sure of it. So I put some ideas in there anyway. Obviously, you girls can map that out between you.
Yeah.
And then literally just prioritize what's needed next week.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised within like 3 hours how much you can actually do.
Okay. So how long will it be? That was what I was going to ask you.
So I booked in 9:30 till 12:30, so for 3 hours.
9:30 till 12:30.
I tend to find after 3 hours you get to a point of diminishing returns where your brain just shuts down.
Yeah. That's true.
So what we'll do is I will also do some like behind the scenes content on the day as well.
Okay.
And talk about it. So we'll collab on that. So yeah, it's really just prioritizing what's needed right now. So imagine, say I'm your client who's signing up. If I was to sign up right now, what do I need to get?
Yeah. Okay.
So that could be a welcome video. It could be just an asset that, it could be a small support and asset around the resource. So you might put like a checklist together. It might be just like a 2-minute video around how to use the checklist, for example.
Yeah.
So just prioritize all that stuff. And then with the social stuff, it kind of like the social content will kind of fall out of that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's loads of ideas that like I've just had on this call immediately in my head now where I'm like, oh, I could make content about that, or I could make content about that. Or I know now that I'm probably going to message Kelly later and be like, Kelly, we need a call. And it's because of that. Like these ideas just come and fall out of the content that you're already making. So there's no real reason why you should ever run out of content ideas now. But this will be updated all the time now, and all three of you have got access to this. So I'm quite. While I was excited before, I'm even more excited now because it's fully in action, and we're going to get it all done. And then in terms of after next week, whatever we don't do, so we'll do next week. I'll get all that content turned around, and whatever we don't do, we'll pen in the next date. It'll definitely be pre-Christmas, and then we'll just get everything just running. Okay.
Yeah, fabulous.
Amazing. So, what I might do is, I'll tell you what might be an idea is set up a little WhatsApp group for us four, and I'll just keep you updated with any updates I give, and then you can keep me updated that way. And then, either way, I'll see it all next week.
Yeah.
Or if I don't see it, I'll see you definitely, Suzanne.
Yeah. Okay, great. That sounds good.
And so before I go, please don't be a stranger. If you if there's anything you need, if there's anything, obviously I'm taking the kids to Lapland tomorrow until Saturday. But outside of that, I'm pretty available. So just message me.
Okay. Yeah.
So I won't be able to jump on a call or anything.
Proper Lapland. The proper Lapland.
Proper Lapland, yeah.
How exciting.
Something I wish I could.
It is exciting, but I've got a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. And the 5-year-old is really excited, but the 1-year-old doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And
just have a clue, yeah.
It's minus 19 last night in Finland.
Wow.
So it's going to be cold.
They give you little outfits to wear though, don't they?
Well, we basically had to buy the 1-year-old like a full ski rig out. So he's like got a ski mask on.
Oh.
That's cute.
My kids are too old for that now.
Yeah, mine are. It's something I wish I'd done with them, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get to do it again.
Yeah. Do you say like when you the best time for Christmas is when you're a kid, and then the second best time is when you're an adult, so we've got kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are just
And then grandkids.
I've got 2 boys now.
Yeah.
Well, I've got my son's 13 and my daughter's 17, so it's all quite different now.
None of you girls look old enough to have grown-up kids.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I'll be 49 in March.
It's amazing.
Well, I'm 40 next year.
I'm waiting for you to say it, Kelly.
I keep taking the mick out of Emma because she's older than me.
They know
I'm 49
very long time to tell you.
Nice. I'm 40 next year, so I'm 30. I'm actually 39 next week.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Not on Wednesday though.
Friday next week. Yeah. I'll get the coffees in next week as well. I'll get the coffees in.
Okay. Great.
So yeah, as I said, if there's any questions, please let me know. Don't be a stranger. Even though I won't be able to jump on a call like this over the next few days, I'll still be on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So yeah, but either way, I'll see you next week, and we'll get all this stuff banged out.
Yeah.
And then are we going to have a separate conversation about collab stuff and white label stuff, Steve?
Yes, please. I'm already on Go High Level, but I could do some help with it, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I've white labeled Go High Level, so mine's called Evolver Growth.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll touch base. Yeah, it won't happen over the next few days just because I'm away, but we'll definitely touch base on some stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
No stress. Thanks so much for your time, guys. If there's, as I said, like any help I can sort of have input into, I will help you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool. See you soon, guys.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
So long.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I leave? Oh yeah.